This is a major warning. We are now seeing a gang takeover happen right now of these different apps that you use every day on your phone, right? If you are using delivery apps like Uber Eats and DoorDash and even these ride sharing programs like Uber and Lyft, you are potentially being exposed to these gangs, and these gangs potentially have your information and they're scouting you out and your house out. So let's get into all the details here really quick, guys. Please just hit that like and that subscribe. I'm posting multiple videos a day, keeping you guys updated on all this big urgent news, and it just helps to get these warnings out. I appreciate that. All right, so this is what's happening right now. This is being reported for multiple different apps allegedly are being taken over by these gangs, and this is happening primarily in major cities across the US like Dallas, New York City, Chicago, and also Denver. We are seeing major takeovers. These gangs are using these apps to scout out homes and to see who is living there. All right, they are getting your information through these apps, and they are getting fake IDs and fake profiles to have access to these apps. All right, so they don't even know who's actually using them. So it's all being exposed through things like DoorDash, Uber Eats, and even a Walmart delivery driver was a part of this as well. So this is the headline here. DoorDash and Uber Eats infiltrated by Venezuelan migrants who are illegally showing up at your door. It says Venezuelan migrants and some gangs are illegally working as food delivery drivers across America, and they are showing up at your door under names and identities that don't belong to them. It says the troubling development is a consequence of more than 1 million Venezuelan quote migrants who have entered the US since Joe Biden has been into office. It says it raises security concerns about the safety of the home delivery apps and the consumer's ability to trust who is actually delivering food to their home and family, with customers' personal information potentially being placed in the hands of dangerous street gangs. It says the gangs are allegedly using the delivery apps as a scouting tool, noting which houses have more valuables inside and which houses are more heavily guarded. They are also then getting names, addresses, and phone numbers for more potential scams and harassment or targeting. All right, so they are infiltrating these apps with fake identities, and then they're showing up to your home. You're opening up the door to your house. Some of them are coming inside your house. They're delivering your food. It's like they don't even just put it on the doorstep. They're bringing in a bunch of groceries into your kitchen, okay? And potentially gang members are exploiting this, okay? And they're seeing which houses, what they have inside. If they have nice stuff inside, if it's just an old lady living there, if it's just a single person living there, or if it's a family, or if it's multiple people, what they have there, who lives there. They're taking note of all these things right now when they show up at your home, right? And this isn't happening with every delivery, but certain places this is concentrated. All right, it's heavily concentrated in places like Dallas right now, New York City, Chicago, and Denver and Aurora. Is being reported that these major cities are having this issue right now. All right, so it also says here that driving and rideshare apps can also be a security vulnerability as the identities of some drivers are being faked. Okay, this is another major issue because you're getting in the car with them. It's even worse than they're just delivering your groceries or delivering you a pizza or whatever, some food. You're getting in a car with them, right? You don't know where you can be taken, what can happen. Your life is kind of in their hands. And if they also have a fake driver's license too, they're not even supposed to be driving. They don't even really know all the proper laws, most likely, inside the United States. And they most likely do not have a real driver's license. Not everyone, but this is happening on some occurrences. This is what's being reported out of the Daily Mail here. All right, it says even different cars and pictures of the driver supposed to show up have been reported when using some apps. Okay, so I feel like I've even experienced this before. Okay, I had to use a ride sharing app this one time to leave the airport, right? And this was in the past year. And the car was different. The car was different. It was showing me a car on the app, but it was different, right? But it was saying this is the car here. And I was like, are you the person? Okay. So that can definitely happen. I can confirm different cars happen, and people are also reporting that even different drivers show up. So like sometimes it shows a little picture of the driver. I'm not super familiar with these apps. I've only used them a few times, and I never use the delivery apps. I never use those. I always just go pick the food up every time, even for pizza or anything like that. I just pick it up. I pick the food up. I never use these apps because they're really expensive too, right? That was my main thing, is I didn't want to pay for it. And now they're potentially a security vulnerability as well too. That's allegedly it's being reported here, right? So just another reason to pick your own food up, okay? And sometimes the picture is different than the guy you get in the car with. That's what people are reporting too, which is a whole nother issue, right? It says here that new arrivals know it's easy. It's as easy as joining a Facebook group for Venezuelans in the Dallas-Fort Worth area to start earning cash as a food delivery driver, right? And they have to pay a fee for this. It says on a daily basis, migrants seeking to rent out their delivery app accounts make their pitch on the social network. It says, quote, who's renting a DoorDash account, posted one woman to the, quote, Venezuelan Friends in Dallas, Texas Facebook group. That's what it's called. And so they're setting up these illegal schemes, okay? This is all linked to your identity. You're paying taxes for this work, all this stuff, and they're selling the accounts out to someone else. And a lot of these are fake identities and fake stolen identities, okay? So it's like a stolen identity that they have. They set up accounts on DoorDash or these apps, and then they sell it to these, quote, migrants, okay? It says here that, and they're even openly looking for them on these Facebook groups. It's called Venezuelan Friends in Dallas, Texas. They're coordinating this, and just, I don't know. It says here, in some cases, migrants are in the U.S. legally and have work permits. In others, they do not yet have a work permit, a process that can take weeks, months, or even years, even with legal entry. It says that other Venezuelans are here illegally and working illegally as well. So that's what's happening with these apps right now. And people are saying that they are even having to pay taxes on this. Like they're having the identity stolen, setting up for these DoorDash accounts, and then they get hit with a tax bill by the IRS. This is what somebody said. So even if you don't even use these apps, you could still be affected by this. This is why this needs to be shut down. This is insane that this is happening. And everyone kind of knows it's happening. It's kind of out in the open, but nobody's stopping it, right? And now it's getting to the point where these gangs are, this TDA gang, allegedly from Venezuela, is now exploiting these apps as well too, right? Here's some people that were commenting on this and saying their experience on this. This is what somebody said. They said, quote, a few months ago, we received a certified letter from the IRS that we owe an additional $6,000 in taxes. IRS records show that my husband supposedly drove for DoorDash and did not claim the income, even though he never worked for this company in his life. He had to hire a tax accountant to fix it, which cost us hundreds of dollars. And we're told that there are lists of stolen IDs available and migrants pay to purchase the information. Okay, so they just have these accounts set up and they're just, it's a giant scam. It's a giant scheme, okay? And just using these apps, they give you all the information. They give you the name. They give you your phone number. They give you your address, all this stuff. They know exactly where you live. So you could even get caught up in another identity scheme too, like this, okay, where you're caught up in something like this because you use the app. Now your stuff's exposed from this too, right? This is just a nightmare. This is insane. And that was somebody's report here. And they said that they work and someone else pays their taxes. So $6,000 in taxes that they got sent a bill with because somebody was working DoorDash with one of these fake accounts and selling the account out too and making money off of it. This is just, it's insane. It's insane, right? Just, I never use these delivery apps. So do what you will. You can use them if you want, but I would most likely advise not to use them, right? It's my personal opinion here. It says here also another comment. Someone said, it's not just DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Grubhub drivers. Even Uber and Lyft drivers are driving cars that are sometimes different than what is being shown, and they're picking me up, but the license plate is correct. Right? That's what happened to me a year ago. Okay, I used one of these services, and the car looked different. I was confused. I remember it because I was like, what's going on here? But then I checked on everything, and it's like, okay, I guess, I don't know. I guess it's fine. The guy knew who I was. He had my information and everything. He knew he was picking me up. And this is like one of the few times I've ever used these services in my life. And I've used these things like 3 times in my whole life, right? And the one time I use it, one of 3, it's the car's wrong, right? And the other times were like years ago too. So when the situation wasn't as prevalent, right? It seems like a major scam that's taking over right now, right? So, and it was actually near Denver. Okay, so I just remember that too, thinking about it. I was like, this was actually near Denver when I had to use one of these things because I was getting some work done on my car, right? And I was dropping my truck off. So what's going on here? Let me know your experience down below. Please just hit it up for me down there to help get these warnings out. I appreciate that, guys. And let me know too, what are you seeing? If you've experienced anything strange, sketchy going on with these apps, let people know down below, because this is going on. It's kind of like an open secret, and this should be shut down. Right? This is definitely illegal. Selling these accounts, selling people's identities and information, and authorizing people to work with these fake accounts. This is like identity theft, identity fraud, all these different things. Even if it's a normal person that sets up an account, a US citizen that sets up an account, their own account, and then they're selling their account, that could even be identity fraud, because they're selling it out to somebody else who is not authorized to work inside the US, and they're working on their behalf, accumulating taxes, all these things. It's like, it's very complicated. This is probably illegal on multiple different fronts, and it's also a major security risk for your home, right? Allowing these, and sometimes you get a delivery at night, getting some food delivered late at night, and you're kind of like not really on guard. Okay, a lot of times your guard is low because you're just at home, you're trying to get food, you're trying to eat, so you're not as on guard as you would be if you were like out in the middle of the city walking around the streets. You're at home, okay? So you could be caught in a vulnerable situation, and somebody actually was hit by this Walmart driver, right? I mentioned earlier how one of these guys was connected to Walmart. This guy was doing a delivery app. Okay, it's one of these apps. It wasn't directly the Walmart app, but he was doing one of these apps that coordinates with Walmart. So you pay on the app, and then the guy goes to Walmart, gets your groceries for you, and then brings it to your house. And this guy crashed into someone's car that was doing this Walmart delivery. This was in Texas. And he crashed into someone's car, totaled their car, massive amounts of damage. And this person was not in the country legally, right? They're in the country illegally, and they're using one of these apps illegally as well too, with a fake profile and a fake identity. Okay, so they could not even, this person did not have insurance. Okay, it's a mess. If your insurance rates have been going up, mine have gone up like crazy. If it's going up, this is a big reason why, is because there are potentially millions of uninsured drivers on the roads right now. And a lot of them are even being facilitated and getting funds. They wouldn't normally be able to afford a car unless they're doing these delivery services. A lot of them are in scooters, things like that too. And these are mostly concentrated in big cities, this problem. But it's also facilitating the problem. Okay, they're funding people to get cars, people that don't even have driver's license, and they don't have insurance as well either, and they're using fake identities. So it's a mess. If your insurance rates have gone up, that's probably a major portion of it. There's other things going on too. Car prices have skyrocketed, okay, from all this inflation mess we've been dealing with. But another issue is that people are driving around uninsured. This guy was driving around doing a Walmart delivery, crashed into this person's car, and they didn't have insurance, so they had to go to Walmart. This woman had to harass Walmart, and Walmart was refusing. They're like, we're not doing anything. We're not going to help you. But she went to the local news and made a big deal out of it, and Walmart paid to fix her car and made it right. So good on Walmart for doing that. And it wasn't Walmart's app directly. He was like outsourced. It's like how DoorDash and these other apps, you can order from different stores and stuff like that and get it sent to your house, even if the store doesn't have a delivery service. That's like their whole thing, kind of. All right, so Walmart did make it good for this woman in Texas, so that's good news. Good on Walmart for that. But this is a major issue, guys, so be careful using these apps. Let me know down below what you guys are seeing, what you're hearing. I appreciate that. I hope you have big blessings for your life, your family, and I hope you have a big old blessed day.